In 5, 4, 3. I'm playing our intro first too, bro.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And,
Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
man, I don't even know. Yeah.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations. Hey, what's good, Josh? Your boy Dash Resource, aka Peanut. I'm here with a very legendary guest. No more legends. There's no legend higher than this in Dayton. I swear to you. I swear. Look. This man literally had his birthday party announced on VH1, BET, and his own platform. We talking about Dayton's own T.O. Tommy Owens Jr., man. How are you today, kid?
I'm great, man. First of all, man, I'm very humble about what you just said. I really appreciate it. Very humble. I'm a guy of true faith, so everything that I do, I know is because of my Lord and my Savior. So I give him all praises due first, and let's get to it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, here at you know what I'm saying, at Legendary People Podcast, we like to celebrate our legends. Like, we don't wait till you in that casket to put the flowers on there. I'm not rushing you to get there, brother.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I feel
You know, so you know, I mean, like most times the most thought out thing will be a RIP post, and that ain't what we doing here. We giving you your flowers while you here. So and you have a lengthy career. I'm telling you, man, listen, I literally was up all last night. I couldn't even sleep. I was so excited to meet you today. So origins, man. So like, where'd you grow up at?
Man, I grew up in the projects.
Hilltop.
I grew up in Hilltop. I grew up in Washington Arms. I grew up in the Soda Bass, man. I didn't live in the Bass, but I was there every day. You know, I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club. So I grew up where it was at, man. You know, where we didn't have nothing, but we didn't know we didn't have nothing.
Right.
You know, I'm a project baby, and I'm proud of it.
Right. So, like throughout your career, like, how do you feel like that helped you like navigate throughout, you know, like your business dealings? Because I mean, like you have dealings with people from the streets, you got people from business, you got celebrities. Do you think like that kind of helped you navigate with you moving around like that?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, you know, you have to realize you are who you are. Period. You can't be nothing different than who you are. You can try to be, but it'll never work. Right. So my relationships, man, I give a lot of my credit to my relationships and keeping good relationships.
Right.
You know, the same people I was cool with when I was in the projects, coming up, we shared peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We cut them in fours and we ate, you know, and my mom used to put a blanket out there and we always, you know, had chips and somebody bring that. These are the same people I'm cool with to today.
Man, that's
and I think relationships, like my phone, man. I haven't changed my phone number in 25 years. And it hit me a long time ago. I had a good friend, mentor of mine, named Walter Latham.
Walter Latham.
And for people that don't know who Walter Latham is the guy who started the Kings of Comedy. Very good friend of mine in Greensboro. And one day he had tried to call me. He's like, "Tommy, why you change your phone, man?" I'm like, "Dude," I mean, he said, "Dude, you can't change your phone because people don't be looking for you."
Right.
I said, "Well, they can just get another phone." He said, "Nah, man, how you do business?" I'm like, "All right." And then another person told me that, somebody else I was cool with. And 25 years later, man, I still got the same number.
Wow.
Because guess what? People call me later. People I hadn't talked to in 5, 6, 7 years. "Hey, Tommy, I need you to do something for me. It's a check." "I'll bet." So keeping that number is definitely
It's a check.
consistent.
It's a check.
It's a check. It made it consistent for me. So communication and consistency, man, is something that I strive for.
Right.
And treating people right.
Absolutely. Now that's more commendable than anything. We're gonna get to that in a little bit later.
All right.
So, but I want to talk more about you. So, you went to Dunbar. Like, tell me how that
man,
experience.
I'm a Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Well, I went to Trotwood first.
Trotwood.
I'm a kid. Like I said, I'm from the project, so I was an athlete. I was a rapper. in my early years, I was real popular.
Okay.
And I didn't understand how popular I was, actually. You know, I just knew I knew people, and I used to brag. You know, I had a girl at each school. And
What grade is this, T.O.?
man, I was in the 6th grade, man.
Sixth grade. So we in the sixth grade. You was at
grade.
Trotwood in the sixth grade?
Yeah, I was at Trotwood in 6th grade, yeah.
Okay.
In Townview, actually.
Townview.
Townview.
Yeah. And I played on a team, man, the Townview Tigers, and I was a point guard.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a pretty good athlete. You can't tell now, but I was. But, you know, just being around different folks, man, and from the projects, when you move different places, you create other friends.
Right.
And I was always the friendly guy, you know. I never mess with nobody, bother nobody. I don't never meet no enemies or everybody's my friend until you prove me different, you know. So I became pretty popular.
Right.
And I didn't realize how popular I was, but I would go places and people would be, hey, Tommy. I'd be like, and my sister would be like, so, but it started working for me.
Right.
You know, and, you know, just going, you know, while I used to work at a record shop in high school.
Yes.
And I used to work at a record shop called Glass
House
House
Records.
Okay, okay.
Come on.
And you know, I was young, man, and while guys was going, you know, they was doing different things. I used to go with my cousins, the Strayhorns. I used to go to the Jack the Rapper. I used to go to the Impact. I used to go to places like that. You know what I'm saying? Really didn't realize how important it was going to be in my life later.
Right.
But you know, I used to go to Freaknik. I used to go to Freaknik.
Okay.
But I used to go to these seminars where I used to hang out with, you know, Timberland and Missy and them. Like we sitting right here. No, none of us had no money. Everybody was broke. Everybody, let's climb in the same room together. Right. Let's get in the same cab and go places because everybody was hustling and grinding.
Right.
So that's the time when I worked at the record shop, man. It taught me a lot. You know, first of all, I was a rapper, so I was really popular, and I won like the #1 rapper in Ohio.
Wow.
Did you, T.O.?
I was a killer, man.
Yeah.
Killer.
Wow.
I thought about that. I had a group called the First Family too.
First Family.
First Family.
Yeah.
All of y'all from Dayton?
All of us from Dayton.
From Dayton? Okay.
And man, we were very, very, very popular.
Yeah.
You know, not just in Ohio, we were also popular in Kentucky and Indiana.
Okay.
It was 2 girls and 2 guys. We did all this singing and rapping stuff before people even thought about it.
Right.
We was singing and rapping back then in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's legendary.
So this is the 80s right here, T.O.
This is the 80s.
This
like
the 80s?
85, 84.
Yeah.
We was rapping and singing and hooks and stuff back then. People wasn't doing stuff like that.
Right.
And this is middle school, high school.
Middle school.
This is middle
high
school. You in middle school doing
man,
not
come on.
making
We
no
He's
did
already a manager at a record shop. So like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like he'll be an artist, being there with all that music, all being disposed of different things during the 80s. This is mind blowing.
How did you know? That's
T.O.
funny, man. He knew that, man.
T.O., that is something, bro.
Dude, I controlled.
Who owned this place?
It was
my cousins. My cousins, the Strayhorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened is, they literally
They just giving us a check. That's it.
put me back there, man. And, you know, they was building houses and, you know, and stuff like that, other stuff. Construction, had a big construction company. And my other cousin, who later on became one of the state representatives, Fred, you know, they were just in the business, but the family business was a record shop that was making the money. So I'm a popular little kid. I come in, they like, cuz, just run it.
Right.
All right, bet. So I'm in high school, and I'm a manager of a record store,
Wow.
and we doing volumes.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So now
Where was the shop at?
first we were on Free Pike, and then we ended up, you know where Gettysburg is, you know where that Burger King is?
Yeah.
That was our land. We sold our land to Burger King.
Yeah. Right there on Hoover.
Right there, yeah.
Okay.
And the building behind it was one of our first buildings where they got a daycare now.
Yeah.
That was our record store, but it was first on Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Right next to I don't know how many people old enough to remember this, but right next to Willie's Bakery and stuff like that, and the beauty salons. That was in the 80s, man. Well, we was popping in the 80s.
Wow. Right.
So it was like crazy, man. I was talking to the record companies back then.
Yeah.
But they had to call me to buy their records.
Yeah.
So I'm a young guy in control. Like, no, I don't want them tapes. That's what it was back then. Yeah, give me them tapes. I'll take a couple of PMDs or, you know.
Yeah.
But as I was working with them, I was creating friendships.
Right.
Yes.
I was smart back then. I'm like, how can I leverage this? So, man, then I said, I want to do a concert.
Wow.
So I want to do a concert. I started knowing everybody. So my cousin was the legendary Mark the Hustler.
Mark.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
Mark.
Ron
That's my
Hunter.
cousin,
Ron
yeah.
Hunter.
Oh,
you
my-
know, he connected it.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
talking
that's
about
my
his
cousin,
relationship
man.
with.
I just talked to him
Legendary.
yesterday.
Yeah.
And so what happened? It was real funny, man. We did a show, and I didn't do the show. He did it, but Mark made me look good
Yeah.
in front of Roxanne and Shantae, like I was,
Wow.
like I was the man.
Yeah.
So I walk in there like, you know, yeah, I got you. She said, "How old is you? You about my age, and you running something?" Yeah, baby, you know, I'm fronting, but hey,
Yeah.
it look good,
Yeah, got
you
to.
know. And that's how me and her are friends to this day, man. We friends to this very day. I talked to her a
Yeah.
couple of days ago, but I was doing distribution. I was making sure that the records come in. Artists were calling me. I was doing in-store services. You know, that was it, man. I was controlling what was going on as far as not only me, but Terry had some stuff going on, and there was another record shop. But right then, Glass House, we was it.
Yeah.
We was popping.
Yeah.
You know, and I was in high school. I'm popular. I'm running stuff. You know, and that was back then, man. When the crack hit hard.
Yeah.
Crack hit hard, man, and we were selling paraphernalia. You know, and I did know what it was, but I didn't.
Right.
And to be honest with you, did I care? Not really.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing nothing wrong, you know. But you know, we were doing that, man. So I was not, like you said, the street side, the music side. At a young age, man, I'm only in the ninth grade.
Yeah.
Let
Then
me
the
ask you
10th
something.
grade.
Let me ask you something, big bro. So, you said crack hit
Yeah.
at this point. When crack first hit, was it recreational for cool people to do, or was it just junkies? Because you had a lot of, like, some of this stuff like cocaine,
Yep.
weed,
Yeah.
just drugs in general. It's done normally by the in crowd, and then the fallout
Yes.
happens later after everybody sees that this stuff is terrible for us. So, did you notice anybody that you knew, even high school people that you was in high school with, or whatever time period that was, anybody that you knew who was cool, part of the in crowd, who actually started smoking crack because it was kind of like a new thing to do, similar to how people is taking these pills now?
Well, honestly, man, no.
Yeah,
The people I was around, everybody was trying to get some money.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Crack
They was selling the
Yeah, let me tell the truth. Yeah, to everybody I'm around, everybody getting money.
right.
You know, now we frowned on crack back then because it was a junkies thing, man. It was,
Yeah.
you know, personal favors. I don't know if y'all remember that word.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that was. Me and my buddies was talking about that the other day. Personal favors, bro. That was just like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, dudes would do for girls. I mean, they would lose their minds for this high.
Right.
They would do anything for you. I mean, that's when guys was, not only girls, hell, guys too.
Right.
But, you know, people would loan out their cars and stuff like that, you know. So crack hit us hard, man.
So then during the Buzz Norman, like what kind of era?
Yeah, well, actually, a little after them.
Okay.
You know, the legendary Mr. Norman, you know, rest in
Legendary.
peace.
R.I.P.,
You know, he was a little bit before my time, but I knew who he was. You know,
Yeah.
I knew he was personally.
Right.
You know, but yeah, around that time, man, it was guys, man, that was getting it, man. I mean, young guys. You know, I had a partner of mine that had a record store. He was younger than me. Hell, he had his own record store, Torrance McClendon.
Oh yeah.
He was getting money, man.
Hey,
I mean,
OG
riding around the
all day.
limos. and,
Yeah.
you know, the Green Line Bandit. That's what I call him. you know.
Man, that's big bro, man.
I mean, he was working it, man. He was working his hand in the industry too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, we had people here, man, that we didn't have direction. Let me say that. We've always had a lot of talent,
Absolutely.
but we never had direction.
Right.
We never had people to, you know, surround us and say, "Hey, we're gonna help y'all."
Right.
You know, because I could have me and my group, man. I'm telling you, we won the #1 group in Ohio. I mean, #1 rappers. So there's no way in the world that we shouldn't have been able to be elevated to a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
Especially when we come from the home of the funk. You know, so I'm looking at Lakeside, Heatwave, Zap, players, all. I mean, I'm like, wow, these were the people that we're trying to follow,
Right.
and nobody was there to elevate us.
Right.
Right.
You know, everybody was gone doing their thing, and don't get me wrong, that's cool. But you know, sometimes we have to learn how to get back.
Right.
And that's why we got caught out of the music industry, because in the 70s and 80s we were the music industry.
Right.
Yeah.
But how can we go from 70s and 80s to top of the world to later on and nothing?
Right.
Nobody even talks about us.
Right.
You know, and that's the same thing with our black community. That's the same thing to the black community. Right. How old are you, man?
I'm 36.
You might not know, but you know, at one time, man, there was like five or six grocery stores in the city.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 or 6 major grocery stores in Dayton. I mean, we had our own beauty salons, already had those everywhere. But we had our own movie theaters, our own drive-throughs, our own drive-ins. We had numerous, man, downtown was like going to New York.
We had an amusement park across the street from
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Putt. Yeah, it was an amusement
Yeah,
park.
right.
right here at
I
Forest
remember
Park.
Putt. Yeah.
Right, but even before that, man, we just had so many major things that went on in this city, man. Yeah. And we never had people to cultivate our kids and our community, man. And that's one thing I want to do. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, I feel like we did have that. And, for instance, I remember your post. You know, I'm a friend of yours on Facebook.
Okay.
And I remember you speaking about the Urban League closing after 63 years. And I remember how devastated you were. Can you give us just a little bit of that?
Wow. Well, you've done your homework, man. I'm smiling about this. The Urban League, and some people don't like to talk about it, but I do. I don't care. The Urban League closing was the most devastating thing could have happened in our community next to the crack cocaine area.
Absolutely.
People don't get it.
I'm an Urban League baby.
All right, okay. That was one of the most devastating things that could happen in the African American community in our city. And people don't get it because Urban League was everything to our community. Every resources, every surrounding, everything came to the Urban League. So can you imagine the city of Dayton and the black folks here and needing jobs and needing resources and needing this baby stuff and needing that. Everybody came to the Urban League, you know, because it was a place that was trusted. And when the Urban League, at the closing of the Urban League, I was there 8 years. And
how was your time there? I mean,
oh man, it was the best. It was the best. It was one of the best things I've done in a while because it allowed me to use my creativity. Shout out to Mr. Willie Walker. It was our CEO. Allowed me to use my creativity. You know, as a young man, like, man, I'm not doing all this old stuff they doing.
Right.
He said, well, go ahead and do what you're gonna do. He allowed me to do that, man, and I blossomed.
Right.
You know. I was able to run this program, and I don't have a degree, so let's put it right there. I don't have a degree, but I was doing work that people with degrees had and master degrees had, and I was doing it excellent. Again, none of the bragging on myself, all through the power of my God.
Absolutely.
But the Urban League, man, was the best thing that happened to us, and the closing was the worst thing that happened to our community. It was devastating. People, let me tell you, a lot of things go on in back rooms. A lot of businesses take place in back rooms like they do on a golf course. So, unless you're in the back room, you don't know exactly what's going on. You only can hear what people tell you.
Yeah.
And the Urban League closing, man, I remember we was in the back room and we was there with some political people, man, like you and I are talking right now, and people couldn't come up with the money, man. And I'm devastated. I'm talking about president of banks and this and that and the other, business people that we thought had millions of dollars, and they couldn't come up with the money to help the Urban League out. And it devastated me and my brother Marlon Shackelford. We were sitting back there in the meeting like, wow. So now everybody wants to fold. But we already know what the devastation is going to be once it happens.
Yeah.
And it happened, man, and the outcome was it was tragedy, man.
So hindsight right now, looking to where we are now, can you see the actual devastation right now? Looking from the peak now, seeing our young people now today.
Oh my God, yes, man. It destroyed our young people. Not just the Urban League. There were other organizations like the Dayton Boys and Girls Club and places like I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club. But it's devastated our community to close an Urban League. And it definitely devastated our children because we had so many programs here.
Right.
You know, when you keep kids out of mess,
Yes.
they won't get into mess.
Right.
So when you keep their minds going, man, you know, we had a program on Saturday morning, man. We had 90 kids show up on Saturday. But they gonna be at home. They ain't been to school all week.
Right.
They don't want to get up in the morning and come to no Saturday program. We had 90 of them waiting, couldn't get in.
Right.
Because we did music, we did entertainment, we did stuff the kids wanted to do.
Right.
But once we got on there, man, the care was that. But once we got on there, it was so important, man, to keep them there. You know, I've seen young people, man, that are dead, that are in jail, and this is no cliche. This is just the truth.
Yeah.
I saw them, man, and they were headed in good directions. And once these programs stopped, man, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
You know, people say, well, it should start at home. Man, we so far past that, man. You know, mama, do me a favor. And I want y'all to listen to it. So, you got 24 hours in a day. All right. You work 8 hours. So, what's that? 8 subtracted from 24.
This is what 16.
Okay. Your kids go to school 7, 8 hours. What's that?
That'll leave you with 8.
Okay. You got to sleep. They recommend how many hours you sleep.
8 hours of sleep.
Okay. So where we at right now?
We're at 0.
We at 0 in 24 hours, right? We got to eat. We got to spend some time with our family if we can. You know, recreation if there's some, because kids just can't work all day and not have any recreation.
No way.
Where's the time for homework? Where's the time for creativity? You know, it's hard. And it's really hard for a one-parent household.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's very important. And I commend the one-parent households, the mothers that work their butts off, that sacrifice for their kids. Some women done some stuff for their kids they would have never done, man.
Right.
You know, and I really appreciate
I know
that.
exactly what you mean.
You know what I
when
mean?
say that. Yep.
Yeah, they would have slept with these men.
Yep, that money on the dresser.
Yeah, yes. Hey, come on, they would have done that. But mothers do whatever it takes to make sure their kids get what they got to get.
Absolutely.
You know, but in 24 hours, I just showed you where's the time to spend with our family,
Right.
and to nurture our sons playing basketball, or our daughters in the drill team, or going to a science fair, or where's it at?
Right.
You know, we are already at, you know, probably at 36 hours, only 24 hours in a day. It's you can't achieve that.
Right.
So, you know, dealing with youngsters, man, that's my passion. You
Right.
know, because somebody did it for me.
Right.
You know, I remember, I'll see you young, but you know, but you do your homework. Back in the day, I used to rap on a thing called a showmobile.
Showmobile.
It's to come in the parks, you know, kids in the projects. It's to come in the park, man, and bring us lunches, and we get up there and we rap and sing and like on a little stage, man. And it was just so. It showed our creativity, man. It showed other people that we weren't just bad kids.
Right. That's awesome.
That we were kids that had hope. You know, right now there's a lot of kids that don't have hope.
Right.
And we didn't have nothing back then. Look what they got now. I sound like an old person. It's funny.
No, I mean, I do want to highlight some people that are doing positive things in the community as well.
Yeah.
Like my sister, Angel Walker, right now.
Angel, that's my girl.
Yeah, I'll be interviewing her probably next week. But she has a dance studio. It's on Whitmore. It's by the VA.
Okay.
It's called. Make sure I got the right name here. I think it's called the Dayton Urban Street Dance Crew.
Salute Angel.
Yeah. So I mean, also, you know, I did see a resurgence in the younger people with the when you had a march with for John Crawford.
Correct.
And it was all blackout.
Correct.
To me, during the pandemic, it was a gift and a curse because you got people who finally was outside all day doing stuff that, you know, like they probably should be doing to be a stay inside the house and then probably got a chance to elevate their mind or get a chance to sit still for a minute. I think that's probably the spoils of like generational wealth and like whites because they got too much ample time on their hands. But when you take black people, give them a chance to think, our creativity just naturally ooze out of. So I'm thinking it's a good time, but after the George Floyd and all that type of stuff, you got the young people back invigorated. You know what I'm saying? They was on the front lines.
Yes, sir.
It's no more important time now than to restart or reboot the Dayton Urban League.
Yeah, they're. I mean, so let me tell you what happened, man. So when the Urban League closed, I had a real bad taste in my mouth, and I didn't want to do. I had nothing to do with any new Urban League, because there were some people that made sure the Urban League closed.
Wow.
There were some people that made sure that we closed.
So it was
because they wanted to take over our building.
Okay.
Let's get that straight. We had a building that was worth millions of dollars, and we paid it off. So if you know nonprofits, if there's a nonprofit and their board goes defunct and they're no longer their board resolves, then another nonprofit can come in and take over without any problem.
Right, you'll have a board. They come in with their own board and then start making different rules and regulations.
And they can take over your building. They can take over your programs. There were people that did not have the Urban League in their best interest because they didn't have our people in their best interest. You know, they can give you money all they want. You know, that's so funny to me. I can give you $10, but destroy you for not making $100,000. You know what I'm saying? It was the Urban League now. Let me go back to where I was at. They asked me to come and meet with them. Me and my brother Shaq when they closed it. So we went up to the Cincinnati office, and I was real popular in Urban League. I knew people everywhere across the country in Urban League. So they asked me to come to Cincinnati, and they wanted to talk to me. So I took my brother up there, and they said, "Look, man, we want you to see if you can take over the Urban League." And they was telling me this and that and the other. So when they finished, I said, "No, I'm not interested." I said, "You know, I don't have the capability of taking over the Urban League. I saw what was going on. I just don't have the skill sets to take over the Urban League." I mean, and they wanted us to raise our own money. Yeah, so they didn't really want us to do it.
Right.
They just put their hands out there and say, "Hey," they put their hands out there and moved it back real quick.
Right.
So we were like, "Nah, we're never gonna deal with the Urban League again." They redid the Urban League. They called it I think the Miami Valley Urban League or something, because it's not ran by Miami Valley. It's ran by Cincinnati.
Okay, so like they're trying to bridge it where they'll get some of the money from there as well. I mean, we know the game.
Right.
Yeah.
So now that they have a friend of mine, Nicole Miller, she is one of the executives over there now. I'm definitely thinking about going over there and help.
Okay.
I mean, I know her heart is good. She's a good person, and we still need it. I'm not sure how the wraparound resources are over there now. Like I said, I haven't stepped foot in the door since they closed. I don't know, we've been closed maybe 11 years. But hopefully they'll be able to. Man, there's never going to be another Urban League. You know. And I'm not saying it to be negative, but the Urban League we just had so many things going on, and we helped the community. The folks in power don't want us to help our community like that. We really got to tell the truth. Right. You know, like you said about the young people right now, this is a time to elevate. Yes. I mean, people are. One thing about my brother Smith, I love. He's been saying this for years, not just because of the pandemic. He's been saying, get your own business. Yes. You know, do your own thing. You can start your own business. People might think he's crazy, but look what's happened during the pandemic. How people are starting their own business. Yes. It's probably one of the best things that happened to us too.
I will say personally, myself, absolutely. I wrote a book during the pandemic. I taught people how to trade stocks for free. I quit my own job and I do this full time. And now this is the passion project with me and my brother doing a joint venture on this. So. So speaking of keeping good company around, you and your brother, man, Marlon, the legendary Marlon Shackelford.
Oh my God!
His butterfly effect is something I still benefit from today. He came to my high school at Meadowdale High School, and he did a presentation with his son. I remember it like the back of my hand. And it's something that inspired me. It made me be a better father, like, you know what I'm saying, like today. It's a lot of things I took from that. What was it like when you very first met Marlon Shackelford, and where was y'all at? And like life?
That's my brother, man. We met each other probably 40 years ago.
Wow.
You know, maybe 35, 40 years ago. And, you know, Shaq was a gangster, man. You know, Shaq was a bully, man. Shaq was, you know, you didn't want to go one-on-one with Shaq. He'll hurt you.
Yeah.
You know, athletic, you know, but strong as an ox, you know. But he had, you know, his mother instilled a lot of good things in him. You know, and he took that with him, and he kept moving on, man. When we together, man, it's crazy because, you know, people think that, you know, we always arguing. People don't know that. I just told y'all.
Right.
But, you know, one thing
All
about
good friends do, man. All good friends.
Yeah, but one thing
we're
about
brothers.
one thing about me, Shaq, and our brother Sean Walton, man, is that nobody will ever see us arguing in public. You'll never see that. You'll never see me and Smith arguing on Facebook and none of that. Yeah, y'all might say some stuff I don't like, and I'll call you like, hey, man, that's some bull.
Right.
You know, but you'll never see that because they've been trying to divide us.
Absolutely.
We already know they've been trying to divide us. The so-called powers that be. They've been trying to divide me and Shaq for a while because they know our power. Our power, we just got to call it like it is. Elections, we're undefeated.
Right.
Democrats and Republicans that we back. Some we shouldn't have backed, but we didn't know until later.
Right.
You know, some things that they didn't bring to light like they said they was.
Okay.
And, you know, I fell out with them about it. One thing about this, man, I don't work for nobody. I work for myself. I don't work for the city. I don't get no money from the city. I don't get no money from the county, school boards. So I can say what I want to say.
Yeah.
You know, and I stand on it. But they've been trying to break us apart. You need to vote for this person, or you need to help this person. And we'll listen to them and be like, okay, yeah, I got you. And at the end of the day, negative. We're not doing that.
Right.
You know, he'll laugh at me. He say I'm the mean brother, but I'm the forceful one.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, when it's time to go get the money, who they send in? They send me in. I'm the dog. I'm going to go get it.
Right.
You know, Shaq, he work. Don't nobody outwork Shaq. That's for sure. I mean, when I tell you, man, he does some stuff. I'll be like, bro, stop, man. You gotta stop. I mean, he'll wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock, go work out, and he won't come back home till about 1 o'clock. And half the stuff he do for free.
Yep.
I mean, literally half the stuff he do for free.
That's crazy, man.
You know, I was on that for a minute, but I said, I gotta start getting some money, man. We can't both, all of us be broke. You know what I'm saying? But he works his butt off, man. He cares about people. And I get into it with him all the time, like, man, you can't be doing that for them people for free, man. I said, once they use you up, then they're gonna use somebody else up.
Yes.
But he has a genuine heart, cares about folks, man. And you know, you want to go to war with him. I go to war with him. You know.
Like my brother joined his when he was policing downtown. Cause I don't know if people remember. Well, of course y'all probably remember, but like young guys. Back in the day when you go downtown, it wasn't a hub. You catch a bus on one side street where the lineup was, other side street where the lineup was. It would be a lot of fight stuff down there. They started the street soldiers down there where Marlon Shackelford, my brother DeVille, I ain't put your last name. They was down there, you know what I'm saying? And to me, it was better of us policing ourselves than what we're seeing now today. Just like in the John Crawford situation where he was inside Walmart, he's in there, you know, on the phone, touching a gun that's on the shelf there. It's not a real gun, it's a plastic gun. Somebody called the police without even check. Like, first of all, like, where's your security to even go over there to find out what's going on first? You know what I mean? And for him to die over that, I mean, it set the wave of a lot of things. But I'm going to get back to the positivity as well. Because one butterfly effect that you set out there is something today that we all can rejoice in. Back in 2010, you told people, listen, y'all, I know it's not the regular primary. We need to go out here and vote on this Dayton school board.
Yeah.
And then now today we got Will Nove Smith, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is something you set in place, because a lot of people just, only vote for the presidents. And now we got somebody I personally done went to school with, saw this man, rap with him, and now he's right there. And to see us reflected in those seats shows that we're having a changing of the tide. And
well, you do your homework, boy. Listen, Will is one of my mentees, man. I'm very proud of him. As all mentees, sometimes you got to pull them to the side and say, "Hey, man, we got to stay on course.
Yes.
This is a course.
Yeah.
We put you here for a reason.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted. People just don't drop in places.
Mm-hmm.
People are put in places and made sure. So I'm so very proud of Will and what Will is doing, because Will is he's in some of those meetings that some of us can't get into.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, we have to. So listen, I'm glad you said that, because I'm about to piss some people off.
There we go.
Yeah.
So what we have to do, man, we have to revamp our whole city, our whole school boards, our whole, people aren't there for the right reason. And I know it's political, but it shouldn't be political when it comes to our kids.
Absolutely.
The city of Dayton, people aren't. I'm so, I don't know what the words I want to use, man. But y'all gave me a platform, man. But I'm probably gonna. People probably gonna hate me or something, so I say, but I don't care.
No, man.
So,
from Dayton, you gotta love it, man. Dayton's
so
strong,
check this
man.
out, man. It's like, how can you close a hospital, man? I sat here the other day. Can you imagine where we could have been as a community if Good Sam was open during this crisis and this pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where we could have been as far as helping and resources.
Yeah.
They don't care about us, man. We got to. Once we understand that, then we know how to move.
Right.
My slogan in my on my Owens Entertainment Company is "We move different," because we move different. We can't move the same way everybody else is moving,
Right.
because that's the problem. See, when they know which way you're going, they know how to track you and keep you there. See, we move different. If you think I'm going right and left, I'm going left.
Right.
You'll never catch me doing the same thing twice.
Yeah.
I don't even do this. I don't do podcasts and stuff where people know where I'm at, because I don't let people know how I move.
Yeah.
By the time I post something, I'm 2 or 3 days later.
Right.
Yeah.
But I move different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 2 days removed when you see me somewhere. But that's just how I do. But listen, y'all. There's some things that are coming up within the city of Dayton that we have to get on top of. I have a group called Concerned Visionary Citizens that's made up of attorneys, lawyers, doctors, psychologists, educators, and everybody from the hood, okay? People don't know that this money that's coming into Dayton, Ohio, this is one of the biggest grants we'll probably ever see. The American Rescue Act, which is $139 million. All right. And to some people, $139 million might not be a lot, but to us, it's a lot. So we
That's
have
a damn lie. 139 million ain't nothing. Get your ass out of here.
You silly. But
That's a
look,
Friday for Smith. What do you mean?
yeah, T-shirt king, you ain't lying.
T-shirt king.
But we have to realize, y'all, that 99% of the time, our community don't know about this stuff until it's over and already used up. There are people that are over these numbers and over these policies that only want to give us crumbs. They only get these numbers and this kind of money because of our poverty, poverty numbers. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
It ain't because they just want to give Dayton the money. It's for our poverty numbers and how we are. Wow. So, this money that's coming in, we deserve half of it.
Right. Absolutely.
Our communities.
Directly.
See, the problem is when we get the money, it goes to so many administration fees and so many people take cuts of it. By the time they get $100, it's worth $5 by the time we get to the people it's supposed to affect. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
How can you run a program like that when everybody taking chops of the money before we get to the program?
So I want to pose the question. So, do you think there's an agenda to keep us down so they can receive these funding? Because if they had us up and running, I mean, like, they may make more money off the taxation of it, but not directly money that they can grease around their, like their constituents and their people that grease their wheels.
Well, we have to understand, man, all this is a plan. This is not something they came with overnight. This is something they already knew stuff was going to happen. And if this happens, we didn't have a contingency plan for this money. We're supposed to have one. The city, if anybody, I know y'all watching for the city of Dayton. If anybody knows that, you're supposed to have a contingency plan for this.
Yeah.
Consolidated plan for this money that comes in. Not this money, for other monies also. I went to the school board, not the school board, the city of Dayton commission meeting. And I put them on blast.
Well, this when you're running for commissioner?
No. Just happened maybe in the last couple of months ago.
Okay.
Because nobody knew about the monies. Nobody knew where the monies was going. Nobody knew. They're supposed to have a consolidated plan that you're supposed to show exactly where monies are supposed to be headed, right? They hadn't even had one. Right. But they already had $69 million of the dollars deposited in their bank account.
Shit.
So $69 million was deposited.
Already allocated.
But no plan. So the problem with this is that the city manager, see, people got to know how this works.
Pecking order.
Right. So what happens is there are 10 people on this, supposedly 10 people on this program that's going to show where the allocations of the money should go.
Yeah.
5 people come from the city of Dayton's, they work for the city of Dayton. Now listen to this. They work for the city of Dayton. There are 5 of them she picks. So how in the hell does she pick 5 people to work for her in the city and then 5 people she appoint? So that means you got 10 people that's going to do whatever the hell you say.
That's confidential.
It's a total conflict of interest. It's
You need checks and balances.
You have
Absolutely.
checks, but we don't have them because black folks and folks of color don't even know about this stuff.
Yeah.
You know how they put it up there? The money we was getting, they put it on their website.
Yeah. And nobody goes to
Yeah.
the
And nobody
website.
looks at it. But that's the way they can get away with it, because they'll say, well, we put it up there, y'all didn't see it.
They should be doing a press release.
Come on.
And it should
Marketing.
it should be on the news about all of this money that the city is receiving and how it can make a difference for people, how to apply for it, and just make sure that it gets divvied up the way that it's supposed to.
But so how do you think it's going to be divvied up if you have 10 people that work for you and answer
It's
to
gonna be
you?
divvied up among those 10.
It's going to be divvied up the way you want it to be divvied up.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless some people come in there and say, hey,
Right.
no. Well, that's what we did. The concerned business citizens. Well, I've hired attorneys, not my partner. I hired other attorneys.
Yeah.
To go inside there, figure out what's going on with this money. I need all the paperwork. I need to know how these people are making bids.
Yeah.
All right, so how many black folks are making these bids? How many black folks have even picked up application? Because you can't get it if you don't get the application.
Right.
You know what?
So
though,
if we
I'm
don't
thinking-
know about it,
I think that you are doing exactly what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
And it's not their fault. It's only our fault. Man.
Yes.
Look, if we not up on game,
yep,
that's your fault.
Yes.
yeah.
We ain't even looking to blame nobody, bro. But what TL trying to say is, man, we need to get on top of our business.
Yes, sir.
We need to make these things our business. And we see how the game is being played. He told you how it's being played. So now it's not like we can blame anybody but ourselves if we do not go in there and take action. And getting back to another thing, like, for example, the hospital, the grocery stores, and everything that they are taking out of our community. I am of the school of thought to say I am done saying they don't care about us.
Yeah.
Yep.
The truth is, we don't care about us because we have the power to go and buy our own theaters
Absolutely.
and our own grocery stores. And when we do, Don't get in there and fight every night and tear the shit up and make the people not want to deal with you.
Don't steal from us.
Bro, I can't
Don't
take
ask
people.
for discounts.
You come in here fighting in my store and being crazy, I'm going to be done with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank to the Most High, we ain't had that type of situation, but I'm not taking a whole lot of that, bro.
Right.
Because I got my kids, I got everybody that I love around here.
We had a baby photo shoot yesterday.
Yeah, so
Like-
and I understand people not wanting to put their self and their business at risk. You can only have so many insurance claims before you get dropped. So, like, and I think all of us collectively, can we get the mindset to say, nobody does us any type of way. We only allow somebody to help you. Nobody can hold you back, but people can help you. But once you see they don't help you, now it's time for you to do these things for yourself.
Yeah, bro. See, our motto with our concerned visionary citizens is, you can't help us. Okay?
Right.
Our thing is, don't talk for us without us. You can't make a decision for us without us.
Exactly.
That's the problem. They're making decisions for our community without the input of our community.
Well, I was going to ask you a question. So, like, how do you feel about those that are actually on the board that don't particularly live in Dayton? So, like, they don't have an interest in building up Dayton. They just come here to get their money. It's like where the bread is buttered. That's where they go, but they don't come back to spend the money back.
This was a conversation. That's crazy. You must have been in my house. This was a conversation I had with somebody yesterday about the residency rule. I feel the same way about schools.
Yes.
How can you teach my children if you don't live in my community?
Man.
Policing.
If my kids can't see you, you know, I was talking. This is why. This is why I got to go in a little bit. I love you. I could be here all day. Listen, I saw this young man. Man, I used to work at juvenile detention.
Wow.
And I seen this young man. Man, he was like Owens. When they say Owens, I know where they come from.
Yeah.
You know, he just got out of the joint, man. Like, Owens, what's up, man? I said, what's happening, man? How you doing? I love you, man. You was always there for us, man. He said they was always scared, the other ones, but we see you at the store. You be everywhere. I'm like, yeah, that's my community.
Yeah.
Right.
It made me think about something, though. It made me think about, how can I help my community? How can I help the people in my community if I don't live in my community?
Yeah.
You know, you can't teach my kids to living in Oakwood.
Yeah.
You don't have the same buy-in that somebody to living in the Bass or somewhere else would have. Same with the police officers.
Right.
I mean, dude.
And we don't need your pity teaching either.
No.
Like teaching
Yeah.
us out of pity and you looking at us like,
how
I'm
can
here
you
to-
serve me if you don't live around me? You're
Yeah,
not
man.
a part of my community.
You put yourself at a higher advantage point than the person you're talking to, so you're always talking down that person. It's always gonna come off kind of condescending to in a certain
Yeah,
respect.
it's very condescending.
Right.
You can't. I think the residency rule should apply for all people in the city of Dayton. You have to live here.
Right.
Because you're not going to want to live here and trash is everywhere.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. That ain't your fault.
Right.
But collectively, we have to work together. You know, people are not going to. I live on a street, man, where it's a busy street. And my neighbors, man, I got a police officer living on there. I got an educator. I got a school board person living. But we live in the hood. But we make sure we take care of everything.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Locking on, building heads.
Man, listen, everybody in the neighborhood. I remember this lady's grass was needed to get cut. We was wondering, like, what happened? So somebody went over there, come to find out she had been sick, real sick. Nobody knew, but we knew something was wrong with her yard.
Yeah.
So community-wise, like, okay, hey, man, somebody take care of her yard. All right, I got it.
Right.
And then once we found out, we knew something was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, residency is major to me.
Yesterday, Garfield said, "Don't come claiming a neighborhood if you don't own any property there."
And that's something for the young people, man. I mean, you know, I'm from Hilltop. They say it's 600. Okay, listen, fellas.
I think what Phil was trying to say is, get rooted in your community for real.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a pie in the sky run.
Yeah. I just think he's trying to say, like, if you from there, buy something there and then help fix it up and build it up.
Right.
You know, on a deeper
Garfield
concept.
was here yesterday.
Oh
Phil
my
was
God,
in the
man,
building.
legendary.
Hey man,
That's my guy,
he
man. He's
dropped
funny.
a whole lot.
I raised Garfield. That's a funny guy, man.
Yeah.
He sure got a little bit of love for T.O. When I see him and stuff, man. And,
energy, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
funny, man.
High energy.
Yes, high energy, self-powered, man. Like he run
Garfield shouldn't be around here.
Yeah.
You know, he has such a Hollywood
Yeah.
thing about him. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
he does,
you know,
man.
And he just, I don't know if he gets it or not, but he's one of them guys, man, that has the it factor, like Chaos.
Yeah.
You know, but look where Chaos is at. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God.
You know, I raised Chaos, man. He was in one of my groups as a kid, and he was always a step ahead of everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, always a step ahead of everybody, man. I remember I brought him to my school one day. There was a problem at Fairview, and everybody was diamond cut this, diamond cut that. And I told him, I said, hey, man, I called him, I said, let me tell you something, man. You're gonna get some people in trouble.
Right.
Or you're going to get in trouble by people claiming stuff that ain't really what it is.
Right.
He said, all right, T.O. I said, you need to come to my school and talk to these kids. I ain't asked no principals. I ain't asked nobody. I said, just come to my class. He said, all right. He got to my class, man. When I tell y'all this, man, this was crazy. This how much power I knew he had. Me him walking down the hall and kids coming out their classrooms following us. Walking out their classes. I mean, by the time you come around to my class, it was like 150 people.
Yeah.
I said, so I closed the door. I said, man, you better tell them. He said, all right, y'all, listen, you know who I am. They were screaming. It sounded like he was Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, Mr. Owens, this who raised me. This is my mentor, woo, woo, woo. He said, y'all, all that gang stuff y'all doing, y'all got to stop, man, because that ain't what I support. I had to, you know, we had some, man, chaos, man, and I just hope that he, I know he working on a master plan, you know, because that's how he was when he was a kid. You know, he would always have paper and pen and paper with him, and you know, and not so much raps. He would write raps, but he would have different stuff with him, jotting down stuff. He was always a businessman, you know, and we got to know, man. And he from Arlington Court, so you know, we have to make sure that once the things that we doing should be for our kids now. It ain't for me.
Right.
It ain't nothing I'm doing for me right now. Everything's for my grandkids.
Well, I want to touch more on the cat community server. Was y'all was working on a reality TV show? Like, how close were y'all to getting that finalized up until you know what's going on with him legally?
We had a lot of stuff going on. He had a lot of stuff going on. I was just helping him out, man, in some certain aspects of things, man. He was brilliant though, man. And you know, I think he could have been one of the biggest guys around, period.
Yes.
He could have been.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we have to know when enough is enough. But he was one of the most talented guys. I mean, I'm on the CD, I'm saying it.
Right,
On this
yeah.
song, I was like, most talented guys ever, you just hard-head. And he kept it on there, like, Mr. Owens, listen to this. Yeah, I say, yeah, you just hard-head.
Right.
You know, but I know when he gets home, man, he's going to do some amazing things.
Right.
I haven't talked to him, but I know him. I know he's in deep thought, you know, because he's a thinker. And hopefully he'll come out and he'll be able to change some people's lives in a positive way, because that's the type of guy he is.
Okay. So I want to say positive thing that you've done to help other people as well, such as you had the 80s bash for what it was. How many years was that in a row? I think it was up to the pandemic. It was 15 years in a row. You having the 80s bash, and then I think in the latter years you started doing the 80s versus 90s bash. Just from hearing your story, I can see a lot of that's deep rooted because when you was at the record store in the 80s, it was a nice time. Everybody come having a good time. I mean, like, walk me through that. You know, like the first year of running it. Like, okay, I'm putting it together for you, or it's kind of like it's a family thing, or
man, you hit it off on the head. I'm an '80s guy, man. There was so much fun we had in the '80s, man, and just wanting to do, just wanting to bring that back, man, and us getting dressed in our Kangos and our big gold chains.
Yeah.
I still got the phones, the bag phones.
I watched all
man.
the pictures.
Man.
Yeah, the pictures look amazing.
Not only did I feel that way, it was a whole lot of other folks that felt that way.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because what happened is I did a post a long time ago, and I was like, "Yeah, what do we miss about the '80s?" Man, I promised about 600 comments on there.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. People saying what they missed. It's okay. I said, well, I'm going to keep doing this age thing, man. And it worked out great, man. I mean, we did the fairgrounds. People, I take chances on stuff people don't even think about.
Right.
I turned the fairgrounds into a skate ring. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, but it was one of the biggest things that ever come around. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even with our talent show.
Yeah, I'm about to get
our talent show, man, is
2-day events.
Yeah, man. 2-day events, man.
At the convention center.
Yeah.
Like, all you rappers are, no disrespect to y'all, because y'all on y'all journey. You know what I mean? Y'all send me flyers to go to Crickets. I'm not really that turned on to go to Crickets. This man has sold out legendary venues. You know what I mean? Like the Convention Center, the Meade Schuster Center.
Yeah,
you got the Dayton African American Cultural Festival.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Can we please get Fly City back, man?
Man, I wish
Come
we
on,
could.
man.
Somebody asked me about this, bro, not too long ago, but I think there's some legalities with that. Because somebody that was a part of the radio station wanted to do it, but I don't think the other people with them, gave them permission. It's sad that we can't even use the park to do a concert anymore because you can't pay to get in there.
Wow.
It's grandfather. The only thing was grandfathered in there was the Fly City Festival.
Right.
When you have public parks like that, it's really kind of hard to charge people to get in.
Right.
But we need concerts like that,
yes.
man. African American Festival's coming up, man. So, we're doing that this year, man. This is something I didn't want to do. I'm going to be honest. My brother called me and said, hey, man, it's been gone for 12 years. They're just trying to do it. I'm like, all right, I help you this year. And 13 years later, I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
I don't get a dime for it. I ain't got paid one time.
God bless you.
13 years. But it's cool because it's for our community. It's something that I think we deserve.
Right.
People need to go see the African wedding. People need to go see the African village. People need health screenings. People need to see the music, the vendors. We have to have a place at least once a year that we can say, wow, this is ours.
I'm going to tell you a benefit of that. I'm about to out myself right now. So my grandmother is Annie Bonaparte, which was a community organizer. She started the Eugenia Network.
Oh, did she?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was important for her to instill African principles in us, even though she's part Japanese Indian herself. Okay. She's like barely black. Like, you see my grandma, she's like, you know what I'm saying? But if you got one drop of black in you, black. You know what I mean? Back then they did it off a skin tone of a penny. So if you're darker than a penny, then you're black. Which a lot of people don't know that. But anyway, so
just taught me something.
Yeah, so it was real important for that. Yeah, it's called paper genocide. When they took from people being Indians, they were literally had a $5 Indian where you could buy Indian land, even though they didn't issue money to Indians. Then they bought the Indian land, and that's how you have the lighter, like the lighter complected Indians are what they trademark as Indians. But if you look at the movie of 30, what was it called, the 40 Years a Slave?
40 Years a Slave.
Yeah. When he hid with the Indians, nobody looked at that and said, that don't make no sense. Because he had to look like the Indians to hide from the white people. He would have looked like a sore thumb. But
the school of thought is that like we really didn't all come over from Africa.
Of course.
Just a few came from Africa. No. Some came from Africa, but we was already living here, and then they kind of like start saying, you're from Africa, take you to another part of America. A lot of us came from Africa
earlier than the ones that were brought in chains. It's called the Middle Passage? Like, before the earth shifted a lot, you could literally walk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, but we know I get to there. Okay, that's another introspective blog we'll get to. But the reason why I find it so brilliant for that to happen is because growing up, we had the negative stigma of African booty scratcher and how these African jokes and you too dark and this and that third. I didn't grow up that way. So now I have lifelong business partners. Shout out to President Busy. Shout out to my man Kwazu and all that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I didn't have that stigma meeting them. I was already predisposed to it. And when you have children growing up being predisposed to positive interactions, those things go with them forever. So, like, you may say, I don't gain nothing from it. But what you're gaining is a person like myself who's doing business with Africans, not saying that they're going to close me out or treat me any different. I mean, they're going to be their different nuances. But I'm telling you, it ain't no better food than down in that Heavenly Cafe. This ain't an ad. But yeah, Heavenly Divine's Cafe, man. I'm telling you, man, go out and get some food. But no, seriously though, brother, I want to commend you on that because even though you may feel like, you know what I mean, like you trading water, somebody behind you drinking the water and it's helping them live, man. So,
hey man, listen, I am like flabbergasted at this conversation, man. I'm so glad you guys invited me here today. And I want to do this again. I want to bring some other people with me, too.
Please do.
You know, Because I think this is something that we need to do, man.
Bring the CVC back. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring back the concerned visionary citizens.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna keep them hidden right now.
Okay.
See, it's a lot of times you got to keep people hidden because they don't know where they come. The only person they see is me.
Right.
Well, guess what?
What we need now is that blurred thing and the voice changer thing. Now that one blacked out.
Hey, the CVC is the code word for black Illuminati.
Hey, Smed, I'm putting Smed on notice right now.
I
Listen,
just wear green masks. Wear green masks.
Hey, bro, I need
Smed green shirt.
Yeah,
Smed, I need a logo for that.
Let's do it.
CVC, I need that soon. I'm putting you on notice right now. 12:34 today.
Yes, sir.
All right,
I'm in there.
This is something, man, that I'm excited. I want to bring some other folks back here, man. And you're doing a hell of a job, man. I really, you surprised me. I know you got some other notes down there. I got something huge that's happening, man. And I have to leave, man. I wish I could sit here with y'all all day. For real. And this is for real. I wish I could sit here with y'all.
We can do a part 2 from the show.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I want to bring some different people. I bring Mike with me. I want to bring Shaq with me so we can talk about some stuff, man. I want to put some people on the hot seat, man, because I really didn't get the hot seat people right now. Because I don't care when it comes to my people. I'm gonna put you on fire. I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't want to treat us right. Well, we're gonna treat ourselves right.
Okay.
You don't want to give us a seat at the table. We're gonna make our own table.
Well, look. Well, it's one beef I did have you do my research, and I gotta say right there.
Lord.
All right, so
we'll wrap with that.
I went back to December 23rd, 2010 in your post. Okay.
Oh Lord. I don't even know what I did.
Like I said, you was mad at KFC because they got closed on Gettysburg, right? And you compared it to the Urban League, which I was like, okay, I understand that. But the fact is, where was that energy when they closed down Broster Hut, man? Where was the energy at then, man? Where was the energy at, man?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
That was good.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell you something about that, man. I'm sorry, dude. This interview is over. It's over.
Legendary, man. Oh, my God, man. Thank you, man.
Hey, man, you do a great job, dude. I like interviewing with you. You got a lot of potential, man.
Thanks, man.
Doing your homework like that and, with some dates on me. I'll be like, what the hell did I say on December the 23rd, 2000?
That's what I had to do.
Where's that energy there when they closed down Broster?
I'm like, where you get this dude from? But no, man, I appreciate it. I humbly enjoyed this interview today. You did a tremendous job, man. You kept me energized. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff on my mind. I got some major stuff happening, man, that the city's going to be on fire with, man. I'll come back and interview with you about that too, man, because it's going to be something that, and we're going to start doing that, man. I'm going to start telling people, man, we need to bring our positive stories to here.
Yes.
We ain't going to keep worrying about Channel 7 and 22 and people like that. If they don't want to give it to us, that's all right. We're going to take our own.
Exactly.
All right? What's the name of the podcast?
It's called the Legendary People Podcast.
Legendary People Podcast. What's up, y'all? This is Tommy Owens with the Legendary People Podcast. It was bananas. I enjoyed it. Make sure y'all tune in every time they do it. Peace.
Yes, sir.